You put it in her pocket.
Oh, I got to put it in his pocket.
Because they always park in the wrong place. And then when it's time for the roll off to come in, they can.
Sign in. Sign in.
Driveway.
Where you gonna sign in?
You gotta sign in. Yep.
This was the first one over there. Who? Oh, yeah. She passed last year. My Gemini. That's the only sister you had?
I had one sister and I had one brother. Who's also not sick, and I'm just like,
I'm telling you, lose your sister. My favorite sister passed away too.
You going to
Who?
Douglas?
He going to Jamaica.
because you know he's on Dallas.
I hate that stuff.
Is it?
Douglas.
So let's take it.
I hate that stuff. Wait, let me get the seat. Wait, you sit down.
Take him to Jamaica.
Y'all take him to Jamaica. You and your mama and everybody going. Okay. And who you said it? Huh?
We renting this villa that comes with a private chef.
Oh.
This coffee.
That's the best way to do it.
Oh, who this is? Your brother?
Look at the coffee.
Okay. And he on dialysis.
I don't know what they do.
Having coffee with the police officer.
He said I
Coffee with the police officer.
So they did to sign up.
Yeah. Oh, it's just three of y'all.
Yeah, and he said that he took it real, real.
I can imagine.
Tell him when they, he can go, I said, yes, I don't know what you got going on here, but you can't go to heaven and play with these.
I know it.
While you over here making yourself sick, you cannot leave and go play with these, something you can't do. You're gonna have to learn to live here without her. You can't go play with her.
Right. How old is he?
He turning 50
Oh,
in June. He a June baby too.
oh, you're June baby too, but he ain't a Gemini.
He June 3rd.
Yeah, he Gemini.
Gemini, why they so close?
Oh, cause both were Gemini. What you is?
I'm a Leo.
Oh, the lion.
I'm the king of the jungle.
The lion. Leo the lion. You have to watch out for her too, for real. Cause she don't play. Oh, okay.
Oh, babies.
Mm.
That's the thing on putting the hot water.
Yeah, the cough is in the little packs. That his, hey, come on. She said, let her do it. She said, y'all not loud over there. Come over here, baby. Sit down. We'll get your coffee for you.
One coffee.
Yeah, do that.
You don't want one?
No.
Okay.
They have hot chocolate over there?
No hot chocolate.
Yeah, he wants
Cream and sugar.
Yes, he does.
And you got to put that mask over your nose. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where is my ash?
She on vacation this week. Little take some time off.
Hey, I don't blame you.
Get one of these.
Yeah, I'm gonna get, you can get, that one mine. You take
Oh,
that.
pass it
Yeah,
out.
yes ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, she been just relaxing. I think she just took she needs some time away. They been running her crazy.
What is this?
I'm happy for her. 'Cause they just
Ask him.
Okay, sorry.
Ask him.
I'm sorry.
Yes, mail fair check for yeah.
gonna try to help you out.
Excuse me. Excuse me. What's your name again?
Sharon.
Sharon. I gotta remember that. Where you sitting at? Where you sitting at?
Right there.
Tell her she should be sleeping.
Chester.
Yeah.
Any, snacks or
Donuts or
pastries?
cupcakes
You
or
want some
something?
pastries?
I thought
What kind of cupcake?
Hey, you want donuts?
I forgot.
Oh, I thought you said cupcake.
I don't have any. There's
No,
no
just donuts and chips.
No, but thanks.
Huh?
Just gonna have that baby. That's all Chester can have.
She said chips for him. She said he can't have that stuff right there.
He's diabetic. That's what he's good. That's got sugar right there. He's diabetic, right?
You may not like these chips either. So please. That's in try.
No, I don't want it.
Well, he don't want no chips either.
Well, thanks.
Okay. Well,
I didn't see that.
here you go, it's hot.
All right.
Yeah, I had two.
No,
Thanks.
I put the napkin around it for you.
Thanks.
It's hot.
Yeah, I sit on table. I sit back here for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, you want,
Thanks.
I sit right here for 5 minutes.
you diabetic, right?
Right.
You check your blood sugar this morning?
Yes.
Okay, because those
Yeah.
sweets and stuff.
Yeah,
Your blood sugar okay?
Take,
Yeah.
Okay.
in 5 minutes, you can drink that coffee and you're ready. Yeah. You didn't fill that cup. Yep. You don't drink enough coffee anyway. Yep. Yep, I had standards for you.
Yep.
Yep.
Blood sugar is. That coffee already got. Well, it's got an artificial sweetener. So, like I do, so that's cool.
All he is that when I into the chicken on the phone.
What's good?
Just want to get my cards.
Yeah.
We want to get started? We start with a little bit of you guys. How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, Brett, that's what you.
Y'all doing all? Hey, that's the only way to be. I tried to. We have been having at the police department a few scams when it comes to mail theft and identity and check and stuff. So I figured it'd be cool to. I printed off. It's probably about 3 articles in here, but it talks about the different types of mail theft. That could possibly, you guys could possibly come against. And I found it interesting that one of the first ones that talks about mail theft is your junk mail. So if you receive, any of you guys receive a lot of junk mail? If you receive a lot of junk mail, then you're on a lot of mailing lists. And most scammers go after some of those mailing lists. So there are different ways that you can get yourself off of those mailing lists so that you won't receive a lot of junk mail. And so it's going to be the last article, and it says prevent elder fraud by getting rid of junk mail. And so if you go to that last article there, it talks about, you know, I get a lot of junk mail at my house, and I actually try to get my name off of the no mailing list for the junk mail. You never know who's tapping into those mailing lists, unfortunately, and who is going after someone of very young or of elderly age. And what they try to do is, you know, fortunate for you guys, your mailboxes are on the inside. But even though your mailbox is on the inside, if you're receiving that junk mail, they'll get your information. And from that information, they'll try to seek out how to try to scam you. So have any of you guys ever received a phone call with someone asking for money, or someone threatening to say, hey, there's a warrant out for your arrest. If you don't pay this amount of money, then you'll get arrested? Well, those phone calls are scams. Yeah.
Pay for my car that
Yes,
I don't have. My
yes,
car doesn't have. I don't own the car, click.
There's a couple too that say, so they'll go and mention a member of your family member. They'll say, and it's very personal information. So if it's very personal information, you're probably thinking it's probably more so true. But they'll go and say, like, my little brother's name is Craig. So they'll say, hey, Craig is in trouble. In order for you to get Craig out of trouble, in order for you to get Craig not to be arrested, we're going to need you to pay a certain amount of money. And so those...
You might well arrest Craig.
And so sometimes they can be very aggressive. And so it can be very intimidating to say no because you're trying to figure out how this person knows my number, how does this person know, my family member and things like that. And so those are the things that you have to worry. Keep asking them questions. If they can't really verify or they become even more aggressive, that's an opportunity for you to just say, hang up or just say no thank you.
Yeah, I had a phone call like that. And, well, actually, it was in my mailbox. Text message. And they said, I'll be arrested. They had a warrant out for my arrest. And if I didn't call them at the end of the day, that I'll go, okay, so I called them. Guess what? The number was disconnected.
Yes.
The mailbox wasn't set up. I said, this is a scam.
Yes, and so
I
most
tell y'all what, come on with the one.
and most of the time you have a warrant, they're not going to. So the unfortunate part is, when it comes to policing, you get something in the mail. Maybe if it was a ticket, but unfortunately, there's nothing in the mail that says you have a warrant for your arrest. It actually just happens if the person runs your information, and then you'll be able to see it. So you can always call your local police department and see, if. Let them know that, hey, I got this phone call, I got this text message, or I got this piece of mail that states I have a warrant for my arrest, and that person can further investigate and say, no ma'am, no sir, this is not the case. But yes, they're sitting, a lot of times we do a lot now on our phone. COVID moved a lot of things digitally, and so you'll get random text messages. As soon as you get that text message, if you can report it, there's ways now to report it as scam, there's ways to report it as junk. So those numbers can be continually to be reported, and then it also puts a blocking for your phone. Yes, sir. Question?
Yeah.
Yes.
What about those that you get about police are taking up a donation?
Yeah, so some of those, if I wouldn't donate at all, if you want to donate, go in person to the police department or call the police department and say, hey, I received this. Is this something that you guys are sending out? Just always verify before you send information. If someone's asking for your debit card information over the phone, don't give it out. We've had a couple of those where, and they haven't been elderly. We've had a lady got a phone call and it was talking about making money. So unfortunately we're in desperate times. So people want to figure out how to make money fast. And this person actually contacted them through social media and they're by phone and said, hey, there's an opportunity for you to make money. If you want to make money, and you're with, I think it was, oh Lord, let me get the Navy Federal. If you're Navy Federal, we can help you out. We need your account information, your account number, and we can deposit checks into that. So she gave her account number, and then they deposited a fake check into her account, which continued to be a whole different spiral. And now they got money from her. They didn't get debit card information, so she ended up losing almost $50,000 in her banking account by trusting someone to try to make more money because they just kept coming back at her. So it's little things like that. People hit you in your desperate moments. A lot of your information is public, unfortunately. And so there's ways that you have to figure out how to not make it so public. Yes, ma'am.
Anything that sounds too good to be true is.
It is, but when you're in desperate moments, people don't have that idea. They're just like, oh, this money sounds good,
I do though.
I do have a question.
Yes.
I get a bunch of bill collectors mail from debt creditors. I don't know if they're legit or not.
Well, that one you might have to.
And they ask for your bank routing number and everything.
So, I even say with bank creditors and things like that, I wouldn't do everything over the phone. Just write.
No, I'm talking about in the mail. I get
Same
and
thing.
then when I call the number, they ask for the routing number, bank account number, and all that over the phone.
That's different, though. Those are creditors. So if you have a creditor calling, you can always call to verify.
No, I get mail.
Yeah.
I get mail.
So mail too.
I don't know if it's real or not.
So if it's
Because
mail,
I called that number one
Yeah.
time, and they asked for your bank information, routing number, and
yeah,
everything.
you don't have to give that over the phone. That's information that nobody should ask over the phone. So you don't have to give your bank information over the phone. Yes, ma'am.
Lately, I've gotten a text, Verizon. I have safely, and
Uh-huh.
it says look at Verizon SIM card or something. So I mentioned it to my kids. That she would call Verizon themselves and get I have my wallet stolen. They tied election day in 2000, and they followed, always calling and getting a whole lot of sale mails back then. And Wells Fargo across the street told me that they nearly got into my checking and so forth in 2019. So they don't throw anything away; they keep it all.
Yeah.
I'm really blessed. I just forget how it all went. I know I wrote.
Yeah.
Handwritten note about my kids, and so people wouldn't be trying to pretend that they were them. I forget exactly, but we have the credit freeze on all of our social security numbers.
Yes.
Because they were all in that wallet.
Yes. So the credit freeze, and then I always say do two-factor verification. They ask for your password, and then maybe they ask for like your secret, question or things like that, or the types where they can send you a text message with the code. That's always good. Two-factor verification on everything. It's another step process, but it's also another step of protection, because most times if someone has access to the initial password, and then you get a verification and you're looking at your phone going, I'm not on this, why this gets, then that's an opportunity for you to know you might need to check. Passwords. Change your passwords every 90 days. I know it's a pain to remember one password, but if you change your password every 90 days, which is actually what we're required to do with our computers. We change our passwords every 90 days because you never know if there's a data breach or some different type of, it's always a data breach somewhere. And so you always change your passwords and make your passwords, hard. It might be something you have to write down. Throw a couple exclamation marks in there, number signs, capitalized letters, numbers. A nice little mix, because the harder it is, the harder it is for them. If you put your birthday in there, your name, your kid's name, those are things that are easily connected. And unfortunately, you can pay $1, $4 just to get public information about somebody these days, unfortunately, when they do name searches. So two-factor verifications, and then just be careful when you do your mail. So when you take your mail to the post office, say you're depositing a check, if you can go inside and deposit, that's great. If you can go and put it in a collection box that kind of locks up, those are great. Do any of you guys go to the post office on Dresden?
So we got a place right here where we mail out mail in this building.
That's fine.
Then the postman picks it up.
Yes, that's a lot better. Yeah, nobody goes to the post office on Dresden,
I
right?
used to. But
Okay.
I was told recently, or not too long ago, to go inside and
Yes.
not mail anything in the mailbox.
Yes, because there's actually a blue mailbox out there where people are depositing checks or depositing mail, and that mailbox is somehow keeps getting hit as somebody's stealing that mail or stealing those checks. So we're telling everybody until the post office figures out that situation to go inside and send your checks off. Don't go to the mailbox and drop it off. Go inside and do that. I know it's convenience for somebody. Even tell your family members, friends, you can go inside because that is a better protection. Anybody can.
Watch out for some of the phone companies. I share something with you.
Okay.
T-Mobile.
Uh-huh.
Now, I used to live in Decatur.
Okay.
So I went to the one over there to pay my bill or get another phone. So what happened was, when I walked in, just the demeanor, I mean, these people are shady. I just felt it.
Uh-huh.
They kept telling me, oh, we need your social, or we can't help you to do this transaction. I said, I'm not giving you my social. But I did end up giving it to them. Next thing I know, I get a letter in the mail that they breached. It's a lawsuit against them.
Uh-huh.
I went up there, the place was closed. I said,
wow.
I knew something was wrong.
Yeah,
I knew something was wrong.
some of them do ask, but you should be able to fill it out, and it should be something that you put in where there shows enough X's that maybe your last 4 is shown, but it should be something that you have to verbally give. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like, and I wouldn't feel like verbally giving that out when there's so many people or just in an open space. I'll put it in the computer for you. Or, it's something you fill out. But, everything you sign up for, everything you put your, you go to different websites and you have to put in your social security number, things like that.
you got to be careful, keep a tracking of those things so that, you know, and constantly look to see if that company has had, you know, people use Experian, those bureaus, Credit Karma, sometimes those big data breaches, and those things like that. So always two-factor, always change your password. Those things are helpful because unfortunately our information is public. Someone can look up right now, put your information in, put an address in, go to Google Earth and see right what your house looks like. You know, so different things like that. So it's getting pretty crazy, but the mail itself, that last one where it talks about junk mail, if you can eliminate yourself off of the junk mail, because they'll go and see, hey, this is an assisted elderly living home, this is a home where a lot of elders live, and they'll begin to start to be a focus of attack for you guys, and that's something that we don't want. So be able to protect yourself against those things. But yeah, if you have to do a check, don't mail it. You know, unless you go inside the post office and things like that.
Oh, it's all right. Is there the right hand out?
Yes, or in your building. That's a safe thing because you guys have a factor. Now, the one thing that needs to be done is, you know, in order for you to come in here, you have a code. If someone doesn't have that, you might have to tell them, you know, hey, I have to close the door, let it close before you let yourself in, because you be nice and continue to let other people in. That mailbox that you guys have becomes vulnerable for someone else to have access to it that doesn't have natural access to the building. Yes, ma'am?
That's a real problem. Because
yes.
There are people coming in.
That's what Miss Lois says. Y'all keep letting people in. And we...
They're letting them in.
Blocking, putting bricks in front of doors and stuff.
Through the window.
Yes.
Give them the card through the
windows. So if you're on the first level, they leave it up there. Yes. So if you I'm about to say, if you see the brick or if you see something, just close the door. They'll have to come around and walk on over. Just keep an eye out on it. Maybe you don't want to address them. Maybe you feel it's a safety issue, don't want to address it, but just at least still report it. You know, yeah, just still report it though. Just still go down and say, hey, Miss Lois, I saw this person at this time do this.
I've done that in the past, and they say call the police.
That's fine. Even if she says that too, that's fine. So I'll tell you, there's two things to that. If and I'll give Miss Lois too, still report it to Miss Lois. But even if you call the police and say, hey, there's somebody in the building who shouldn't be here, there's a long line of justifying what that is. Why should they be here? Is this person visiting somebody? And if they're already in a room, the police also have to have some type of evidence to actually knock on the door and go in the room. Besides, they're not just supposed to be in here. So to eliminate all that is to continue to, you know, hey, let's keep a description. Maybe you write it down and say, this week I saw this person 5 times come in this door and it was open up. That will give you some evidence to say, hey, you know, I know they're not supposed to be here and there's some suspicious activity going on, which can produce some ability for the police to begin to look at that. Because it's tough.
This is off the subject.
Oh, you're fine.
But I hear a dog barking every night. And I don't know I don't know where it's
So
from.
there is a noise ordinance that we have, and so that can be considered noise, or especially if after a certain time of night.
Sometimes it's freezing out there.
Now, if you hear a dog outside, you can definitely call the police because that's something that we can call animal control to come help out with.
But I don't know where it is.
Oh, you just hear it. Okay, and you have the apartment complex that's on the other side too.
Right, so but I hear it a lot, and I feel sorry for that dog or whatever. I feel like it's on the deck or something.
You know, sometimes if you could, let's just say, hey, it's been going on for over 45 minutes. You know, you can call the police and say, hey, I'm not really sure this is where I am, but I hear a dog barking as if it's outside. That's some things to do that you can do like that if you feel like it's happening so many times a night, things like that.
Yeah, I just feel like it's animal cruelty.
Oh, 100%. We've had a couple cases like that.
One more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody told me that their mail key fit into other mailboxes.
So that's something you definitely need to report because you guys get your own individual mail key, correct?
Right, and this person told me that their mail key fit in different boxes.
Is your mail key like have like a U.S. Postal, or is the mail key given by by Miss Lois and them?
I don't even know.
Okay. Well, then I can give Miss Lois then and see how the mail keys are made, because that needs to be either reported with the post office because they give you the mailbox key, or it needs to be reported to Miss Lois.
Anyway.
Yes.
Sometimes they leave them open and there's
You guys have a mailbox key to your mailboxes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if your key opens up somebody else's, that's an issue. You don't want that to be. Now, they may fit in there. That's the difference if they fit in there. Like I accidentally, for example, I have mailboxes at my townhomes, and if I go and it actually fits in there, it's not gonna turn it though. So there's a difference. If it turns it and opens it, then yes, you report it. But if it just fits in there because, say, my mailbox is 38. They all enroll 37, 38. It's dark at night. I accidentally not paying attention. It goes in, but it doesn't turn. Then I know, that's the thing. But if it goes into each mailbox and actually turns and opens, then that's where the issue comes in.
Sometimes the mailboxes are, you find one left open.
Now, if they're left open,
I report it.
yeah, that person needs to make sure that they have to close it. So yeah, but yeah, that's the things that you need to make sure that even if it goes in, that's different. But if it actually opens it up, that's where your issue is. That lies right there. Yes,
These
sir.
people don't have no phone number for AARP unless we got their phone number somewhere over there.
Yeah, you have to. This is not for AARP. This is for information pertaining to fake phone calls, fraudulent.
At the very
mail.
bottom of the page is got AARP.
I think that's an ad. It's an ad. This is just articles that are from the thing. And so this person, the AARP, that's who wrote the article.
Yeah.
So you'll have to research where you'll be able to
Call them.
find the
Let me ask you something
information.
else.
Yes, ma'am.
When I'm on the phone or looking up something on my phone, sometimes I get spam that's really pornographic or something. I'm thinking, why would I get something like that?
It happens to a lot. Just either it's like I said, you're a mailing list. You get your number. You easily go up there. You have an iPhone or Android? What do you have?
iPhone.
iPhone. So your iPhone, you go there. There's a type where you can hit the three dots and block that caller. And then there's also
Where is that located?
so on most of your text messages.
That's what I need to get my son or somebody.
Yeah. So if you go to your text messages and
I want to see what you're doing.
I'm going. So I'm going to look up. I don't think I have anybody that's.
It's real annoying though, because I'll be looking up, maybe I'm looking up shoes or something, and then I get some weird thing.
Yeah, so you can easily go. You say you have your son. Just tell him you want to block this website. You want to do that. That'll be the easiest way. Is just to block that website. Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. I keep getting this scared light jumping up on my phone. I got around 100 on there now. I can't even delete them all. They come so fast. What do I do about that?
So there's a couple of lists, and I actually think I'll find the number, but there's a number you can put for you to be eliminated from some of those calls. But I have noticed too that some of my scam likelies are actually legit people. So some, and they're actually people that a business that I do business with. So it just depends. Some you answer, if not, you just have to keep blocking them. Once that number comes. You have an iPhone or you have a Android? So on Android, I'm not sure, but there's a way to, once a number is been brought up, there's options for you to say block this caller. And so just look up some of that.
Can you call the phone thing and ask them?
So who's your telephone company?
Well, it's AT&T.
AT&T? So AT&T also should be able to tell you, hey, what's the number where I can block scam calls? Your cell phone provider also is a way to help say, hey, I'm trying to figure out how to block those calls. And I'll try to give Miss Lois a couple of numbers too, that'll tell you how to get your names off of a few lists. Yeah. I'm gonna try to get Miss. Yes.
If let's say Joanne called me and she makes calls all night long on the phone, can her stuff get on my phone?
No. It doesn't jump like that. If it depends on who they call. So there's a thing to you can block, says there's a way that you can block scam likely. Now, I can't tell you these are things that I do, but there's an article that presents it and it says there's a way to do it by typing in a digit or whatever. So I'll have Miss Lois print off this article, and then you guys can go through and determine if that's something that you want to do. So I can only say this is an article, it's not something you have to look up and see if this is something that you guys want to do.
Getting off the phone, talking about letting people in. That back door been broke forever.
Yeah.
People are walking in here.
You can't close it.
And so that back door has been broke forever. And people are just walking in here. You don't have to let them in.
Tell them about that right now.
Several people done told them, I don't know what the problem is, why they won't fix it.
Well, some, it could be costly. It could be, I know since I've been here, that door's been fixed probably 3 or 4 times. Because we've gone back and have to check the door to make sure it has been fixed.
We don't care what it costs. We're talking about our safety.
Oh, well, I know you don't care, but you also have to know too. Depends on parts. It's a lot of different things. I'm not sure. We have a door that's broke at ours, and it actually won't get fixed until a part comes in. So that's it's just an extra security part. But if the door's been broke for so long, then you have to really report to your business, the place of business where you're at, and if everybody continues to report and calls a claim, or you go to corporate, you do different things like that. Because right now it would be considered a safety issue.
Because I kept that in mind that maybe it's the part, because this building was built in 1978, and it might be hard to get a part for that door.
But it's been remodeled since then. The entire building has been remodeled.
Yes, it has been
I
remodeled.
was living there when they remodeled, because I had to leave my apartment because they had a trail down. We'd go get something to eat, different that stuff. You remember that?
That was 2019.
Well,
But it's been remodeled.
Well, that part, and I don't deny that, but that part of it probably hasn't been, that door.
Yeah.
That door.
But they put new windows in, new everything, new doors, new windows. All our windows were put in new and everything.
Yeah, I must make
They
sure.
remodeled the whole building.
So,
Doors, windows, all of it.
yeah, so people are just walking in here. They can't get through the front, they come into the back.
Right.
B building's the same way, the back door,
Which door?
the back one,
You mean the
on
south?
the first floor.
On the south,
Yeah.
south entrance. Because our north entrance now, you can only get in there before 4 on weekdays. I wish that they could somehow change it, because if, you come back like 7 or 8 and you see somebody you don't know about, then you want to go there. I mean, I understand the problem is that people that don't live there and are doing business there in the night have figured out that they can get in that way. But there's got to be some way for us to be able to get in that way, because if you see somebody suspicious in a car or something.
Okay, good. What time does the doors lock for you guys? Is there
Five. They went down, they locked now. Nobody, they fixed it. Well,
I was just about to say,
They lock all day now.
Okay,
you
okay.
can't come in unless you got a key.
All day.
Yeah, all day now.
But they come in all night.
Well,
And
when
then
people
people
block
running
the
all
other
up and
doors
down.
open for them and stuff,
People let them in.
Yeah, they block them doors open.
We're scared. I mean, if we see, I guess I just plan to come over here, come in here and just wait it out. But how long could I be waiting? The time I'm waiting, somebody else might turn up.
Right.
And somebody comes out there and lets them in, and I'm really scared, because I know there's something going on my floor, and I feel like, what if somebody thinks that my apartment is where they could buy the house, and they decide, I'm scared.
Yes. Every after a certain time at night, I don't even come out of my apartment.
I know.
Because I don't know who in these hallways.
Same with
That's
you
right.
right now.
Well, I had one that, thank God it wasn't any danger, it was for a woman in Messina, but it was real late. And when I called the police, they came before the vaccine, and so I had to go down and let them in, but they took the other elevator,
Uh-huh.
and they all messed up just like I was, and we went upstairs and they looked all around, but I was really happy when I found out. I wasn't happy that this poor woman was so senile, but I was really happy, of course, that was what that was. It wasn't.
Was something else that
wasn't
made you,
meaning harm. She just didn't understand, and she belonged her. So now they lock in.
Yeah, I would. So I would say, you know, a lot of it. Again, it's a constant issue, unfortunately, and we're still trying to figure out a better solution. But unfortunately, Linux Summit will have to be the one that has to fix that door too, and then figure out why it continues to break. And so that would be one issue. But you know, other ways, as best as you can, close the door whenever you see it propped open. Pass that along. You don't have to approach anybody. Just close the door. Make it harder for the next person to come in. When you're getting out or you're getting ready to walk in, always look around you. Be aware. I always, you know, look around before I go and put my key in the door. Those things, you know, I don't know if you guys have no headphones, those things like that while you're walking and things like that. So you'll be totally aware of what's going on and knowing your surroundings. But yeah, I mean, and then it doesn't matter if you saw something, you know, just call the police. It is our job to go ahead and eliminate some of the suspicion that you have that's going on. If we can eliminate some of those things, then that would be something that'd be helpful for you guys.
I see people selling crack all the time.
So do you know, like, because we've had a detective and his crew come in and do surveillance and things like that in some of the B building and things like that, but we weren't able to. Once they approached that situation, there wasn't anything in there, which means we believe someone is bringing it in, you know, from the outside.
They are.
And so
they drive up and then they honk.
Yes, and so descriptions. Let's just say, hey, it's dark, but you can see that it's a dark color.
This goes on all night.
That's fine. If you can see it from your window, that says, hey, I see a dark color. This person honks at this time. So you just kind of keep a documentation.
Like around payday.
Okay. So like the first of the month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 3:30 at night. You know, it goes on all the time.
So then for us is the last things we've had is we always get, hey, you know, there's drug activity happening, but there's no details following up. So for us to do like a true surveillance, it has to be, hey, Monday through Friday we saw it at this time, we heard the horns at this time, and just keep track of it. And then it'll be something Miss Lois actually and I can get, and I can just bring it straight to the detectives.
Well, you know, if I'm aware,
yeah,
Miss Lois has got to be aware.
Yes.
I mean, you know, there are people that
So the description. So don't just call and say, hey, I heard a horn. Is there a blue truck? Is it a white truck? Is it a young white man, young black man, young Asian man, young something coming out that I see? Always just go to the door and then go back to their car. You know, that's description of, okay, well, what were they doing for that short period of time? That's enough to detail
They
this
don't
thing.
even care. They just go out. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm running this place, you know.
Well, at least at 3:30 a.m. you gave me a time so I can at least have, you know, some type of patrolling at that time. Is there any other time that you believe?
Weekends.
Weekends?
Nobody's away on
No breaks.
And at nighttime?
I have 8
Yeah, rain or shine. I mean, there's people honking. They'll honk twice.
Somebody in my building, it's not here.
Is this A building or B building?
B building.
She said she went out of the apartment and there was some people standing there, I guess, and they said, get back in the apartment, don't come out. So she did. She was too scared to call the police right then because she figured they know it was her.
That one, I would just call anonymous, or you can call, you know.
I don't know what she did after. I just.
You just have one song?
Alright, so.
2 songs, no dollars?
No, it's the same people over and over again.
Yeah, do you guys, and you don't have to tell me now, you know, but maybe if tell Ms. Lewis what are the apartments on the B building so we can look at those too.
On the first floor.
Okay.
And then I think on the third.
Third, yeah. And now there might be something on the.
I never see him so.
And then there are people that have been told to leave and they come back.
Yeah, so we've been working with Miss Lois on that because we got a couple of them that have been criminally trespassed and then we got them back out. So we have done some of those.
These are people that live here, I think.
So I don't have these numbers because I
Sophisticated
don't see them.
operation going.
I don't have someone.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
What do you do if you smell?
No, they're still on.
If you smell stuff on the first floor?
So the tough part about smelling is you'll have to know where the smell comes from. Because sometimes if it happens, it can filtrate the whole hallway and you just smell it, but you don't know where the door comes or what door it's at. So that was hard.
And I've got breathing problems.
Yeah.
I smell hot and everything.
Because it can go through the vents. It could be, you know,
Yeah,
that.
it do come through the vent.
Yeah, and so that part's the hardest part.
But I have trouble smelling. A lot of things I don't even smell.
Smell, yeah. So he was asking what you do if you smell, and so unfortunately at this
Yeah,
moment,
my smell is not too good. I have a hard time smelling things.
yeah, you have to
And
know
I'm
where it
glad
comes from. Yeah, you have to know where it comes from. If you know where it's really coming from, then the police can interact.
Let me
on
ask
that.
you the other.
Yes, ma'am.
Is pot legal in Atlanta?
No, ma'am, it's not. So, you know what the misconception is when Atlanta kind of decriminalized it and made it, they'll give a $75 ticket. Well, they'll still will do that, but you can also still go to jail even though you get the ticket. So, you know, people focus on, oh, I'll just get a ticket, but really, no, you'll still go to jail. Marijuana is still illegal in the state of Georgia. So yes, it is not legal at all. People think, oh, I just want to get a slap of wrist, but in Brookhaven, doesn't matter how much you get, we'll still take you to jail for it.
When you go down there, married right there at Walgreens.
Oh yeah.
There's some form of, yeah, they have it down there on sale.
Oh yeah, that's medicinal, so that's
Yeah.
different than that.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
it's
the
some-
THC that makes
Right.
it for us.
And they got some places that it is legal. Some kind like California.
Yes.
Certain different places it is legal.
Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes,
it's not legal in Georgia.
And
correct.
I don't think
But it's
you
not legal in Georgia.
Correct.
I don't think you
Oh, look at that. Hey, handsome. Oh, you got a handsome son.
Thank you.
Hey, little fella.
So I'm gonna have to
Handsome
leave.
little grandbaby too.
Thank you.
How old is he?
He's 3. He's 4.
Hi.
He's really cute.
Thank you. That's my son.
All right.
He's in love, Joanne. He
I
wants a
know.
necklace. Joanne, you gotta give him a
You
necklace.
want a necklace?
He wants a necklace. He's mesmerized.
Why you buy him a short one?
I didn't think we would be here or that we would be so terrified
You know.
if it was just Leo.
Hey.
No, I think it's definitely serious
Oh, 100%.
difficulties that we're
Yes.
so scared about.
You have to look thing.
I'll see y'all later.
All right, have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Okay,
Thank
baby.
you for coming.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I watch all these crime shows.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not, you know, a detective or anything.
Right.
But, I mean, if you've got somebody that's on crack and totally out of it,
Uh-huh.
I mean, they can just come and kill your ass. So I'm sort of leery sometimes about saying anything.
Right. Yeah, and that's why you don't have to report it. You know, you can always tell the officer, hey, please don't come to my door. I would like to make this report over the phone because I have a fear that if they see the police at my door, then they'll know I'm reporting it. We're perfectly fine with that. You know, you tell the dispatcher.
Excuse me. You're not supposed to do that. If you wanted something, ask me, please take a seat.
Yeah, if you wanted something from the
Don't
dispatcher, you need to tell
Get
it.
it. You got it.
Then go ahead and tell the dispatcher, hey, I want to file a police report, but I'd rather make it over the phone because I don't feel comfortable.
Excuse me, I got this.
Yeah,
You
because
guys
I mean, the
come.
majority of the people living here are on drugs.
Yes.
So, I mean,
And you don't want them to come to your door or retaliate against you. You know, that everything you do, can definitely be done over the phone. So just say I want it done over the phone. Please don't come. Please let me make a phone call because there's a fear that they'll know. And just let them know, hey, I live in this. The doors are pretty close. I don't want them to know that I'm calling the police and reporting anything that's about them.
When I moved in, I had to sign a lease, and this was supposed to be smoke-free,
Uh-huh.
drug-free, and all
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Cream and sugar.
Good, huh?
It's the same way everywhere. I
You're
moved my
right.
I moved my townhome and it's supposed to be drug free, but I know of a couple of. And I'll tell you this, you know, I live in an area where it's very nice, but there's one guy I know who is selling, and I've had the detectives, you know, out there and things like that, but they still haven't been able to make, you know, an arrest. So sometimes it just depends on the area and the amount that's taken, if they can find probable cause to get them. So, because I know, and I've been reporting this guy for 2 years now, and I still can't get anything done. He might stop for a little bit. So it's just because the amount. If all you see is someone, we can arrest someone who just sells one time. But sometimes you want to build a case because a good bust is getting a lot of marijuana. But if you're just getting somebody who just has a nickel and a dime, you know, you want to at least stop them though. If we can get the person to criminally trespass them, then that's what we want to do.
But if there's prostitution going on.
Oh yeah, we want to get rid of that too. Yes.
We definitely had.
Yes.
You could see it. It was impossible to miss.
Yes.
For a
So.
while now, it's all operating at night, I guess.
And so yeah, so if you have drug activity, prostitution, again, report, or build up your case and say it's always happening at this time of night. The more details you can have, the time of night, the day, those details help because then officers can start to come at those specific times.
See, Lois said the last time, she said, well, just go out there with your cameras.
Yeah.
I thought, there's no way.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to do that. That puts yourself in a position to be harmed or things like that. So if you can do it from your window and look above, do it. But if not, we always say don't put yourself in harm's way.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave these here. So if anybody wants them, they tell them they can all
Can
have
I
them.
take some?
Yeah, you sure can. Just ways that we can help and be more helpful. But I appreciate you guys. Is there anything you want to talk about particular on next month?
No, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just want to ask, off the subject, but it's really important to me. It drives me crazy when I get an Amber Alert on my phone.
Yes.
Now, I don't think my phone's connected to the internet. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know, but it vanishes like before I can get the paper and pen to write it down.
So sometimes it comes up and it's in a text message form. If it's not,
it still vanishes.
yeah. So it depends on your phone company. You have to get.
Somebody I should.
You should have to speak to your phone company because it depends on how your phone service works. Like mine did it, and then you can look at your notifications, or you can look at it as a text message. But next month, you guys don't have anything particular?
Yeah, I want to talk about, well, the fire department.
The fire department?
When they come here,
Okay.
when we have those alarms, and a lot of times the elevator doesn't work.
Okay.
And they said, we can't do anything about it. And so we have to walk back up 5 flights of stairs.
Okay.
We've never not had one elevator working, so don't even say that. One elevator is always working in the building. They both may not be working, but one is always working. So if you
No,
walk
that
up the
wasn't the
stairs,
case. Because the
you
fire
walk up the
department
stairs.
came up to me and said, they're not working, ma'am.
well, no, there is never not a elevator working here, never. Because we didn't have an elevator working, trust me. the
Are you
fire department
talking
would
about
find
A
us-
building or B
Both
building?
buildings. The fire department would find us $10,000 if both elevators were down.
That is actually true. If the elevator is down and the fire
Why
department
would they say
has-
they couldn't?
I thought the smoke alarm turns the elevators off.
They
doesn't
got, the fire department has the key.
But they didn't.
No.
So
The key is
they
not
probably
here.
told you.
Well, they do now.
So they probably told no. So there's two ways about it. If the fire department tells you the elevator's not working, they don't want you to go on the elevator. So that's two different things because the fire department will definitely let us know and find the people if an property.
One elevator has always got to go. Now, there's a smoke alarm going off. The fire, you can't use the elevator.
Yes, and that is when the fire department will tell you this. But unless you rent to a new person, there's never not a time where there can be a place.
One elevator has to work in the building, high-rise building.
I'll think of something for next week. The fire department will that'll be something that you guys
I
have to
have
do
to
with
call
the
the
fire
fire department
department for that one.
But they
Yeah.
that is absolutely not true.
But we'll get some things together for you guys. Again, safety. Don't let anybody in. But you guys can take these things and take some with you if you would like to.
Joey, what are you?
Can I shake hands with you?
Yeah. I threw you a fist bump. I threw you
Okay.
a fist. All right, I'm right here. Fist. There you go.
I want to give you this about your
Okay.
church.
All right. Look at you. All right.
Yeah, that car's gonna take like 15 minutes to cool down. Every time they pour that water, it's hot as hell.
My conscience won't allow me to do it. I do it when I get home. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming.
Alright, yeah, we gotta take that coffee.
Yes.
We gotta take that coffee upstairs, don't you?
Yep.
It's so hot.
So you think that's blocking the inverters, so it's not connecting, somehow it might not be connected to the internet?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You have to call your phone company. That's a phone issue.
What's she trying to find out?
When the amber alerts come on, it disappears. You can't find it.
Disappears like in a few minutes
It doesn't stay
after.
on your phone.
What?
It doesn't stay on your phone.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody's phone.
Thank you.
It doesn't stay on your phone. It's not a notification, it's an alert. It pops up, you read it, and it's gone.
But it's so fast, you know how they have time to jot it down.
Yeah, that's good. You gotta hold the coffee.
Yep.
And it's slow with it too.
Yeah.
It's too hot to use
Yeah.
drink.
So most of the time, you'll be okay.
That was hot too. Just,
All right, yeah.
Man, I'll give it to you.
Thank
Go ahead.
you.
you gotta go slow.
Yeah.
Sideways.
I've got my water and all my round here in
Yeah, a little slow.
Yeah. Let me get you to carry it with the other hand.
No, because I got stuff in my hand.
Okay.
My phone. Oh, I got this
In your
paper.
pockets.
I got this paper. You gotta get it on.
Yeah. So you don't have any no.
You keep it upright. You
Yeah, I want to stop my phone.